Here's some growth collars that started healing over. See, here's one where somebody cut a long time ago. Right here you can see one that's already starting to close, where a long time ago somebody did a cut right here. The growth ring can grow over and compartmentalize that. See this branch right here? See that growth collar? The growth collar's way out here. The growth collar comes all the way out here. Sometimes you get homeowners, if you're doing tree work and they want you to, sometimes you get homeowners that are like, they want you to cut it closer to the tree. They want more of a flush cut, you know, more in and cut some of that growth collar off. Me personally, I cut on the outside of the growth collar, even if they're big like that. Okay, look at this growth collar from this angle. You can really see it. The lighting on here is really good. So that's what you want to cut on the outside of. The most basic way that they teach in the textbooks, here's what I have against the textbook cutting is it doesn't, you have to use common sense. Here's the thing, if you have a really heavy branch, the 1, 2, 3 cut doesn't always apply because it'll have so much weight that it'll pinch your saw and it'll still rip some of the wood out potentially. You got to get the weight off the branch. To me, that's almost more important than doing the 1, 2, 3. But I'll show you the textbook way of the 1, 2, 3 cut. But first I'm going to take some of the weight off this branch. So if we go way out on this branch, and I'll go way out here, see, I'm far enough out here away from the tree that there's not going to be any peel back. But here's what peel back looks like. If I cut this off, and sometimes it peels the other direction. Instead of peeling back towards the tree, sometimes it peels back towards the end that you're, the terminal, the end that you're cutting off, like it did on this one. Okay, so now that I've taken off some weight off this limb, me personally, this is the way I take the branches off. I just keep trimming them back. So I'll take some more weight off. And now I'm dealing with a smaller branch. So here's the 1, 2, 3 cut. This is what they teach in the textbook. You do an undercut first, you know, and where you do the undercut depends on how big the limb is and how much weight is out on it. Me personally, I would never do the 1, 2, 3 method, the undercut, the overcut, and then the final cut. I would never do it on a branch that's super heavy without first removing a bunch of the weight out there. This is what I don't like about textbook arborists, because yeah, you can follow the book exactly like it says, but if you don't use common sense, if you got a big, you know, 1 foot diameter limb and it's a limb that's going way out there and it's super heavy, and you do the 1, 2, 3 method, you might end up with some problems. You should take some of the weight off first, a lot of the weight off. And then when you get to, you know, a smaller section you can deal with, here's the 1, 2, 3 method. So you do your undercut and then do your overcut. And it were to peel, it would peel off, it would terminate here instead of continuing it would break off the peel. See that peel? The theory is it would break off here and not continue down here. And then you cut just outside the branch bark ridge, perpendicular to the axis of the branch at the location where you're cutting. I can use both hands. And then the final cut. Then what I'm left is a skin of wood that's attached on the side right here, and I can go like this in just one cut and get a nice clean cut on the outside. You know, the final cut to be right here on the outside of the growth collar. But this limb is heavy enough that if I were to just start cutting, this is what most people do, is they want to take the shortcut method. So what they do is they just want to get it over with. So they want to do everything in one cut. So they'll start cutting here. And what can happen is the limb can be heavy enough that it'll rip, and it'll come and rip down here and leave a wound, and it doesn't rip out here. You can see where it ripped out tissue. And it could have been worse. Not only does it not look good, it also takes a long time for it to ever compartmentalize, and it just doesn't look right. Plus it can also, if it rips really bad, it can rip right down the tree, quite a ways down the trunk.
It can also create a place to introduce rot and decay.
So like I said in the other clip on that other limb, is use common sense. Get the weight off the limb so there's not so much weight. So what I would do is I'm going to go out like 4 feet out here, and I'm going to cut the limb off out here. And there's no way it's going to peel. A limb of this diameter, there's no way it would peel all the way down 4 feet and hit this. So, I mean, but technically, you're supposed to do an undercut, and it's hard to do with a pole saw to do the undercut first. But I'm going to try because this one's easier. It's lower to the ground, and I can do it. So I'll do an undercut, and I'm going to do my overcut right over the undercut, which is fine. And let's say the limb is so high that you can't do an undercut to protect the ripping action. Let's say the limb is so high up there and you're with your pole saw and you can't do an undercut. This is what I do. Just keep cutting it back, firewood size lengths. Cut one off this big and there's no way it's gonna rip back to here. But here's a trick, I'll show you this trick, is cut off some of that underwood as you can do it like this. Is initiate your cut on the side like this. I'm cutting on the side. It's good to have safety glasses because sawdust will come down and get in your eyes. And start off your cut, and you can walk over here with the saw and cut underneath like this. Now you don't want to be underneath it when it falls, so you got to change your position. Now what I'm going to do is finish the cut off back here at this angle. I can even come all the way back here. And then right before, you can kind of tell when it's about getting ready to go. So what I do is I do short strokes, choked up here in the lower neck of the blade instead of the tip of the blade. I do short cuts in here and I watch it start to go. And that leaves me room so I can do my final rip stroke. So I go like this. I can see it's getting ready to go. And then, yeah, it's gonna go. So I just go like this. I just came right off. So now I got a little piece of wood and I can cut it off at the right distance, right outside the branch bark ridge. So it's not beveled. So it's a nice perpendicular flat cut. See, and this is why you want a good pole saw, because if you have a good pole saw with a sharp blade, the cutting isn't that hard.
And I want to reiterate again, it is the pull stroke that does the cutting. On these type of blades, pretty much all the blades you get nowadays on pole saws, that's the pull stroke.
I can cut underneath a little bit here.
Yeah, it's just the sound delay in the camera. That's why it looks like I'm cutting on the push stroke. But I'm actually cutting on the pull stroke.
Cut under a little bit. Now get the final swipe. There we go. Nice and clean. See that? I cut to the outside of the growth collar. The growth collar on this was kind of big and lumpy. It kind of stuck out kind of big. So some people might look at this and think, oh, that guy, man, he left a big stub on there. But you know what? It'll make an excellent foothold for somebody for a kid who's tree climbing. Look at that. Perpendicular to the axis. I wanted to make this really short and fast, but you know, there's really more to cutting off a branch than most people realize. The main thing is to be safe. Don't cut the branch and have it swing and hit you in the head. So you should assume when you're under a limb, if you're under a limb and you're cutting, you should assume that the worst scenario is going to happen. The branch is going to come down and possibly hit you in the head. So you have to be ready to move out of the way. But there would be a really long video if I explained all the varying degrees of physics of the shape of a limb, the length of a limb, and how it can come down and do like a spring, like those guys that do pole vaulting. I've seen limbs do a pole vault where they come down, they'll flex, and then they'll bounce. And sometimes you can't predict exactly where they're going to go. The more you do this, the more you kind of get a feel for it and you can kind of predict it. But for a beginner, I would just say, expect that the limb is going to come down and hit you in the head. So you should always wear a helmet, and you should always stand with your pole saw so you're back away from the limb. You're not underneath it. You know, they teach in the books to be, you know, at a 45-degree angle away from the tree, and having your pole saw go up at a 45-degree angle so you're way out, so you're far away from the limb where it's going to be cut and where it's going to fall. But sometimes they can travel right towards you. They can land and vault themselves, and they can go this way or that way or this way or that way. So if you're doing it next to a house, be careful. You can vault a limb right into a window. And that's why people call professional arborists, because they'll take care of it in a more professional manner and less likely to damage something. But I mean, there's a lot to it. And the more you play with it, but here's the common sense takeaway I want you guys to take away is just take the weight off the limb. You don't need to, here's the number one thing. You see all those videos on YouTube, is people are trying to do the whole thing in one cut. They'll have a massive limb and they get up there on a ladder with a chainsaw and they're trying to take the limb, and I'm like, hey, you know what? If they had just taken a little bit off, take it off in sections, but then people go, oh, well, then I have to do more cuts. Hey, yeah, it's a lot safer. You know, delimb the branch. If you have a really big overhead branch, use your pole saw and delimb it and take it into sections, because the branch might branch off into other branches. Take some of those limbs off, section it, take smaller sections. Yeah, so don't get greedy. Don't try to take everything all at once. Take your time and have fun, be safe, and have a really good blade. I use Silky pole saws, they're the best. And Notch, there's a brand called Notch. They use Silky blades on their poles, and Silky blades are the sharpest that I have found so far. And when you're working with good equipment, you don't mind taking extra steps to be safe. And that's why you want to use good equipment, because it makes it so you can work safer. So if you have to do 3 extra cuts to unweight a limb, you can do 3 extra cuts. Okay, you guys, just use common sense. Don't fall a limb on your heads. Wear a helmet, and also safety glasses is a good idea. And don't try to go too fast. Just take your time. See the growth collar? Take some of the weight off. I'll come all the way out here. Take the blade off. Now see how that peeled? But I'm very far away from the growth collar. Then I'll do another shortcut right here. There we go. There's this little guy. It's gonna heal over quite well.
Hey folks, so I'll just end right here. Just remember, take your time, be safe, and you'll end up with a nice, clean, beautiful cut like this right here.